3, 2, 1.
We'd like to welcome you to another edition of Grok Talk, brought to you by New Hampshire's leading conservative blog site, GraniteGrok.com. We are your feared extremist, right-wing, hard-charging, gun-toting, opinionated, outspoken, rabble-rousing, letter-writing, radio microphone stomping conservatives and rational libertarians. So get ready for more news and opinion you could only get from GraniteGrok.com.
Grok Talk.
We got guns. We got guns. We're talking about guns.
Dementia.
We got to turn your microphones on. We got young guns. We got young guns.
Boy,
that is what we do. Welcome back to Grok Talk. I'm Steve McDonald here with Susan Olson, Skip Murphy, Mike Rogers. Our next guest, Yvonne Dean-Bailey, is on the phone, and we're going to bring her in right now. Yvonne, congratulations, by the way, on your little win there in your primary.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
I'm dramatically dropping my music volume too soon. It doesn't fade as nice. It sounds worse. Anyway, I'd rather talk to you. I have to work this out because we have more microphone sliders going on here, and I have to... You notice the difference in sound quality as I do this?
Yes.
So
Yeah,
we have to...
Unplug your laptop. We're getting that screech again, that static.
I'm not going to unplug my
Don't
laptop.
unplug anything.
I know. What could possibly... Let's see what
What
happens.
could go wrong?
I'm going to unplug something. Okay, we're still on the air.
Oh,
It's better sound.
much better.
Okay, so anyway, I don't hear that. It must be coming from someplace. Anyway.
Because the output of you're not hearing the output that we hear that goes through the
Right,
audio board.
yeah, and it doesn't show up in the recording either,
Let's
so
talk to
I don't know.
Yvonne. Hush.
Anyway, quit the inside baseball, guys, and let's
Right.
talk to our guest.
So you won your primary.
Yes, I did.
Good, and it was a pretty decent win.
Yeah, it was a pretty big one. I think I ended up getting around 86% of the vote.
Oh, yeah, that's
Wow.
pretty good.
Way to go.
Way to go, ma'am.
Okay, so
I appreciate it.
when is the general?
So the general will be on May 19th. So I believe the third Tuesday is May.
Mm-hmm. Sounds right.
Yep.
And your opponent is?
Yeah, so I'm running against Maureen Mann, she's going to be a tough one. I mean, she won in a special in January of 2008. She won in 2008 in the general, and then she won again in 2012. But I think she's going to stop in 2015.
Yeah, and the AFL-CIO just came out and endorsed her, didn't they?
Yes, this is true.
So lots of union help.
Yes.
Gee, really? They do that? No kidding. She's going to have an open house on the 19th, and we can all stop in and ask her questions. She put that out.
She's going to have an open house when?
Susan the Bruce tweeted out that Ms. Mann is having an open house on the 19th, and we can come and ask her any questions we want.
April 19th.
Really?
Yeah.
What's going on with April 19th? Why is everybody picking this date?
Well, because it's probably the first day that there's no snow on my driveway.
Oh, anyway. All right, so, and your towns again?
Yeah, so I'm running in Northwood, Nottingham, Deerfield, and Candia, which is Rockingham's 32nd district.
Okay. Rock 32. I'm making notes. I have this down from the last time we were here, but, the odds of my finding those notes are pretty slim. So, are you getting some help?
Yeah, I am getting a lot of help, especially from some younger folks as well. I think a lot of people are excited that we've got a young person running. Even some kids from the local high school are helping out, which is pretty great.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. People who usually wouldn't, or like high school students who usually wouldn't necessarily get into politics, or either helping out because, I remember going to school with you, or so it's been great.
So why would a young person run as a Republican to serve in the New Hampshire House of Representatives?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. It's not the first time I've been asked. Well, for a couple reasons. I mean, especially being a young conservative woman, I definitely think that we need more representation, not only at the state level, but across the board. I mean, it's not too often that you find a 19-year-old conservative woman, and I think that our views need to be advocated at the State House as well.
Well, how did you become a 19-year-old conservative woman?
Right. That's actually a really good question. I think it started when I was in around 2008. That's when the whole, obviously, the Obama mania began. And I remember being, I think I was in 7th grade or 8th grade then, and I remember being one of the only students in class who was not too sold on everything that was going on. I mean,
Were you sent home or punished because of it?
I actually was. I was. I vaguely remember on the inauguration day, my friend and I may have boycotted.
Oh, my.
Not boycotted, but I mean, we were 12 or 13, and we had to watch the inauguration in class, and we were a little bit bitter.
My
we may have
goodness.
worn McCain shirts, actually.
Good girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Starting young.
So you've got a pretty decent group of peers there in that district, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Absolutely. So I don't know if are you talking about like representative-wise
Yes.
or?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I know James Spillane has been very helpful. Bruce Hodgson's been very helpful. Joe Duarte. They've all been really helpful and really excited, and we really want to keep the seat in conservative hands. So we're working hard.
So how do you politely, as a 19-year-old woman, take on a cranky old Democrat woman?
Well,
That's
I
for
think
us
you
to
just-
do. You
Yeah.
don't have to answer that. That was just a cheap shot. Hello, Maureen.
Okay.
I know. I'm just trying to focus on the issues and just, talk. Just go and talk to as many people as possible. And at the end of the day, I mean, it's a very conservative district, and just pointing out her voting record to people and just saying, like, this is the person that that's been elected for this district 3 times. And look, I mean, her votes don't represent our district. You can claim bipartisan, but at the end of the day, when you get up there and you vote another way, that's what's on record.
Yeah, it's funny how that works, isn't it?
I think turnout's probably your most important. I mean, if you can just get people to show up who are Republicans to vote, you should be able to beat her. I know that if the unions are out knocking on doors, they're going to be working hard to keep the seat. They want the seat. They need Sean Jasper needs another advocate. So they're going to want to work hard. Like I said, I mean, I know you're probably getting help. Who else is helping you? I mean, you need people out doing door hanging and door knocking like crazy.
Standing at the dump with
Just
signs.
like look, just please go vote.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I do need more help, so if there's anybody that's willing to come knock doors, make phone calls, I could use the help. I mean, I've got a couple friends that are helping me either from high school or from when I worked for Marilyn Garcia that are willing to help knock doors and make phone calls, because at the end of the day, it's a huge turnout. That's what it is. It's all about turnout. And, she consistently runs for that seat. So Democrats in the area know, okay, well, today's the day I vote for Maureen. But because the Republican seat switch hands so many times, it's like starting fresh every single election.
What is your PVI there?
I think
PVI being?
Voter
Like,
index. What are you a plus 1, 2?
It's around plus 5. So Candia's, I think, is plus 9. Deerfield's around plus 6, and then Northwood and Nottingham float around plus 3, plus 2.
Okay.
Yeah,
So again, it's a turnout issue.
It is turnout. It is
Because
always
these elections,
turnout.
I mean,
Yeah.
especially when you're talking special elections or town elections where you get a fraction of the normal turnout for a large election. So yeah,
Right.
Is Kevin McHugh helping you out?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. He's
Okay.
sending me door knockers and phone calls and sign waivers, which is exactly what I need. Because at the end of the day, I know I'm trying to see if I can get some big signs just to say May 19th, because high turnout doesn't favor her, it favors me, which is unique for Democrat, like a Republican-Democrat mix there. So just getting people to know that there is an election on May 19th is going to really hopefully bump up the vote count.
Well, Yvonne, there's probably some big old 4x8s hanging around from this past November that are blank
Right.
on one side.
That's what I'm looking for. You know
Well,
anyone?
I just might. I just might. So
Susan knows some folks.
So we'll stay in touch, because those are always a great tool. And sometimes, believe it or not, those more informal signs are more compelling than the big
Yep.
flashy professional ones.
Right.
And
a lot
it's
less
all,
expensive.
what's that?
and a lot less expensive.
No kidding, no kidding. Well, you know what? Let me volunteer to work on that for you. Do you have sign locations that might be available to you?
Yes, absolutely,
Great.
especially for the bigger signs too.
Oh, goody. Well, we'll
right,
we'll team up on that.
The neat thing you could do is take a one-sided 4x8, fold it in half, so we get two white sides, paint on it, and stick it up.
Absolutely,
Yep. That's what we did because I had 2 4x8s on one side at my house actually, and for the actual election day, they changed the polling location in Candia and Northwood, so we made vote at town hall signs. Now we just need May 19th signs.
Well, just so you know, Yvonne, I just sent you and Susan an email saying Yvonne's email meets Susan's email, so now you are connected via
We're email mates.
Your email mates.
Cool.
So you can work that out together.
Cool.
And get that. So that's good. Yes, absolutely signs. Anybody who's listening to this program, and I will try to put this segment up again this week. We'll put up some links and make sure that people know to go out and activate themselves and get involved and reach out to you.
Now, are you getting help from the state party?
Yes, they've been very helpful,
Good.
especially since, well, I'm one of 2 shows in town. It's just me and the other special election with Dennis Green happening over in Hampstead and Kingston, I believe. So they're working hard to try and keep this seat in the hands of the GOP, I guess.
Great. Well, take advantage of that help. So you've got your good voter lists and your call lists and all of that.
Yep.
Good stuff. Cool.
Well,
I'm
you know,
excited.
Yvonne's not a novice to this. She's kind of been an intern for Kelly Ayotte and some other folks. She's been in the political sphere. She has a little experience dealing with the political environment and campaigns in general, so she's familiar with some of that.
And she gave Obama a big raspberry in what, 7th grade, did you say?
I think it was 7th or 8th grade, yeah.
Good start.
And from the campaigns you've worked on, you've learned what to do and maybe what not to do in the case of some of them.
Exactly, and I think that's what really helped me in the primary, too, is because, I was a field staffer for Marilyn Garcia as well as Charlie Baker, so I know just talk to people.
You had to be a field staffer for Charlie Baker, so you were down in the motherland for the Democrats. That's a tough place to cut your teeth.
Good skill set, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
and I think on the actual election day, I thought what was the most helpful was I just called through every single one of my IDs and I begged them to vote. I was like, I just really, really, really need your help today. If you can spare me 5 minutes and just go to the town hall, check off a box, I won't bother you for about another month.
So what's your first piece of legislation that you would introduce in the next session?
That's a good question.
I have one for you in case you need one.
Sure, I would love to talk to you about that. I'm not 100% sure yet. I mean, I'm talking to people just in the district, and I think that's going to be... I'm focused on winning first, I guess.
Well, you can introduce legislation that would force state employees to follow the same rules as other paid lobbyists are forced to follow.
Oh, yeah,
because I think it would be interesting to know how many bills are filed at the request of state agencies every year.
Yeah.
Because,
absolutely.
you're sitting in a hearing and you hear somebody say, well, this was filed at the request of the department. What the hell is the department doing filing legislation that benefits itself?
Yeah.
And you see these guys hanging around that all they do, they're getting paid by DES, particularly the Water Division, and all they do is hang around the State House. So that's the first thing. That's one thing that needs to stop is the incestuous relationship between state agencies and the legislature.
I agree with you.
Cool.
All right, Yvonne, we're going to take a quick 60-second break. We'll be right back. Stay on one.
Talk.